Today's video is going to be about a sign that a man loves you, or a sign that he's starting to fall in love with you. Now, again, like the last video, the last sign that a man loves you was about him being open to the full range of your emotions, even the inconvenient ones, right? Even the hard ones to deal with. This video is a little bit different, though. This video is about the point that that man wants you to confide in him, right? He is bothered when you don't share the inconvenience with him. He's bothered when you have a different confidant, right? When a man loves a woman, he wants to be the person she confides in. He wants to hear her issues, because when a man loves you, he wants to be a solution to your problems. Too often people in relationships, when I'm doing my relationship coaching, a woman will call me and she'll say she doesn't want to tell her husband everything because he'll want to try to fix it. Right? We're always Mr. Fix It. Well, men are like that when they love a woman, right? Sometimes you can just say, listen, I just want you to hear me. I just want to vent. I just want to get this out to someone who understands me. I don't necessarily need a solution right now. So can you just hear me without trying to fix it? Right? Most of the time a person will say, oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Right? But that's a sign the person loves you, when they care about the result of the issue that you're having, right? When they want you to confide in them. I know a lot of women that talk to a person, been dating them, been having sex with them for months and months at a time, maybe even years, but aren't allowed to bring their issues to conversation, aren't allowed to tell those people about the problems in their lives, aren't allowed to share negative experiences because they don't want to be a burden, or that person treats them like a burden. When a man loves you, he wants to be your confidant. He has to know these things. Oftentimes a woman might hear something from a man who cares about her to the tune of, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me that was going on? Why didn't you tell me that was happening? I wish I would have known. You have to tell me these things. Men feel low-key betrayed, right? Or they feel like maybe I haven't made the progress with her that I thought I was making, when a woman refuses to tell them the important portions of what's going on in her life, right? Now, the confusion here is generally women give a lot of details and have a different relationship with storytelling than men, right? So sometimes the emphasis in your mind isn't what's emphasized in our minds. And if you tell a long story about your date to a guy, he might blank out about a few of those details, but it's not necessarily because he doesn't care about the overall result, right? Sometimes men are just kind of big picture thinkers, right? We simplify things, the complexities evade us. And so if you feel like, oh, okay, well, he's not a good listener, so I'm not going to tell him this important thing, right? That's when we start to feel irritated, because when a man loves a woman, he really wants to know the important things. He wants to know what's bothering her. He wants to know her challenges. He wants to know her stresses. He wants to know her pressures, and he wants to assist in the solution. But he cannot do that if he's on the outside of the information circle, if he's outside of the circle of trust, so to speak. So a surefire way that a man is starting to care about you, is really starting to love you, is he wants to inconvenience himself with the ugly truths in your life. He wants to inconvenience himself with your issues so he can be a part of the solution. And he gets upset when you don't tell him. He gets upset when you don't share things, and he starts to feel like you're not as close. And this is because internally he starts to feel like maybe he's not as close to you as he wanted to be. Maybe he hasn't made the progress with you. Maybe you don't open up to him because you don't trust him yet, or he's not important enough. Right? Emotionally, because men are providers and men are protectors, or at least that's the traditional role or identity most of us assume internally. When the people we love and the people who depend on us, or the people who are interdependent with us, don't bring us their issues, whether or not we can fix them, we feel as though a portion of our purpose has been disregarded. And sometimes we can feel like we're failing at that purpose. And a guy who loves you starts to feel a purpose toward your relationship. He feels a purpose toward you. And a lot of times a man's principle is deeply embedded in his purpose. So to come to a man who cares about you, when a man really cares about you, to come to him makes him feel honored. It shows that you receive the love that he's hoping to give. Now, if he has no love to give, he doesn't want to know what your problems are. He doesn't care because he doesn't feel a sense of purpose for you. But one of the first signs that a guy is caring about you more than he's admitting, or caring about you more than you thought he was that he feels a sense of purpose around what's going on with you, around the issues in your life, around being in your business. Bring your problems to me, cast your burdens onto me, and we will find a solution to them. That's his thinking. That's his frame of thought. Sometimes when a woman's too emotionally independent, a man never really feels like he's being loved back. Sometimes when men say, I don't feel like I'm making progress with you, that's the type of stuff that they mean. They don't see themselves being utilized as providers or protectors. And provision isn't all about finance. It's about energy. It's about effort. It's about service. A man's service is his provision. And if he can't protect you, and he also can't provide a service around being supportive in different ways that men can be supportive, then he doesn't feel like you are either open to receiving his love or you see the value and skill set he possesses. So he starts to feel unseen and unappreciated. But again, none of that happens if he doesn't give a damn at all. So if you got a man that doesn't want to hear your issues, whether they're money problems, work problems, relationship problems, family dynamic issues, when he's not coming to you trying to figure out what's going on because you've been a little bit off lately, when he avoids the tears of the difficult conversations, whether or not they're about him, when you've been explicitly told that's a little bit too deep for him, he's not really into talking about that type of stuff, he's not good with emotions and things of that nature. When he tells you explicitly what some women have been told by guys they were dating, your problems are your problems, you aren't dealing with a man who wants to love you or who has decided to love you, because that emotional investment of the inconvenient is a sacrifice that people make for love. So anyway, I hope this helps. Follow me at KidVic24 on Instagram. Like, comment, subscribe, share my videos if you think they're helpful. I'll get with y'all later.